The animating idea of the 1619 Project is that our narrative is more accurately told if we begin not on July 4th, 1776, but in late August of 1619, when a ship arrived in Jamestown, bearing a cargo of 20 to 30 enslaved people from Africa. Their arrival inaugurated a barbaric and unprecedented system of chattel slavery that would last for the next 250 years. This is sometimes referred to as the country's original sin, but it is more than that. It is the country's very origin.
Nikole Hannah-Jones was named a MacArthur Genius for reshaping national conversations around education reform. This is but one honor in a growing list. She's won a Peabody, a Polk, and for her story on choosing a school for her daughter in a segregated city, a National Magazine Award. Most recently, the New York Times Magazine's The 1619 Project, she spearheaded on history and lasting legacy of American slavery went viral. And her powerful introductory essay was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for commentary. Nikole Hannah-Jones covers racial injustice for the New York Times Magazine, and has spent years chronicling the way official policy has created and maintains racial segregation in housing and schools. Her deeply personal reports on the Black experience in America offers a compelling case for greater equity.
The 1619 Project tells this new origin story, placing the consequences of slavery and the contributions of Black Americans at the center of the story we tell ourselves about who we are as a country. Orchestrated by the editors of the New York Times Magazine, led by MacArthur Genius and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Nikole Hannah-Jones, this collection of essays and historical vignettes includes some of the most outstanding journalists, thinkers, and scholars of American history and culture, including Linda Villarosa, Jamil Bowie, Janine Interlandi, Matthew Desmond, Wesley Morris, and Brian Stevenson.
The 1619 Project, published by the New York Times, retells the history of the U.S., foregrounding the arrival 401 years ago of enslaved Africans to Virginia. Through a series of essays, photos, and podcasts, the 1619 Project charts the impact of slavery on the country's founding principles, economy, healthcare system, racial segregation of neighborhoods and schools, popular music, and visual representations. Conversations around the 1619 Project have served as a flashpoint for intensive ideological debates about its content and impact. It's been both widely lauded and subjected to critiques from academics, journalists, pundits, and policymakers who challenge its accuracy and its interpretation of history. Conservative politicians even seek to defund schools that teach the project. What is the power of the 1619 Project? To reframe our understanding of U.S. history and our contemporary society? How might we go beyond the 1619 Project to develop an even fuller understanding of the centrality of slavery and race in the U.S. and in the broader Atlantic world?
Together, their work shows how the tendrils of 1619, of slavery and resistance to slavery, reach into every part of our contemporary culture, from voting, housing, and healthcare, to the way we sing and dance, the way we tell stories, and the way we worship. Interstitial works of flash fiction and poetry bring the history to life through the imaginative interpretations of some of our greatest writers. The 1619 Project ultimately sends a very strong message. We must have a clear vision of this history if we are to understand our present dilemmas. Only by reckoning with this difficult history and trying as hard as we can to understand its powerful influence on our present can we prepare ourselves for a more just future.